Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Accounting Educator. I'm Safir Ahmed, a senior lecturer in accounting and finance in a UK university. I also work with ACCA as an early career ambassador. In this video, I will be covering Task 1 from Endpoint Assessment EPA for AAT Level 3 Assistant Accountant Apprenticeship, and of course from Synoptic, part of the EPA. Okay, so this is the Task 1, and this task is mainly from ethics, ethics portion of business awareness, of course. And if you talk about the previous AAT level 3 AQ 2016 units, if you have studied those, then it is ethics for accountants, of course. Okay, Wajid is an accountant who works for Lelham Limited, a large organization with many employees. Tara, a new accountant with the company, has made two statements to Wajid about how she believes the ethical code applies to her. So let's have a look into that. I have no duty to act in the public interest provided that I act in the interest of Lelham Limited and the accountancy profession. Now, all accountants, including junior accountants, senior accountants, bookkeepers, they have a professional duty to act in the public interest. So of course that this is false. The second statement is the ethical code provides detailed rules on how I should act in every possible situation that I might encounter at work. Now, the ethical principles is a principle-based approach rather than rules-based approach. So it doesn't really tell us in every sort of situation that what we need to do. But what we need to do is we need to use our professional judgment in every situation and considering all of the facts. So therefore, this statement will be false as well. So it's not detailed rules, it's principles. Part B of this question, identify whether or not the ethical code specifically requires Tara to take each of the following actions in order to act in line with the principles of professional behavior. So let's have a look. Comply with all regulations that affect Lelham Limited, of course. All of the regulations, all of the laws, which is applicable in to the organization, the way you work, you must have to comply with those. Promote the reputation of the profession at every opportunity. Now, there is no requirement to do that, although members tend to promote their accountancy professions. For example, as I am a member of AAT and member of ACCA, I tend to promote it, but I don't have to. So of course, this is not required, but members tend to do that. But there is no requirement. Next part of this question, Wajid has noticed that Tara does not conduct her work thoroughly and she often completes it late. Wajid believes that Tara is in breach of one of the ethical fundamental principles. Identify which fundamental principle Tara has breached. So the first one is integrity, professional competence, and due care, objectivity. Now, objectivity is, remember that when there is undue influence of others, conflict of interest, or there is some biasness, which is not the case in this situation. Integrity, which is honest and straightforward. If someone is delaying their work, or if someone is taking longer to do their work, that got nothing to do with the integrity, okay, or honesty, in other words. But definitely professional competence and due care. So she might be taking long that because she doesn't know what to do. She might be taking long that maybe that she is not trained properly, as well. So, in other words, that she is probably not professionally competent enough. So, this is the correct option for this. Next one. Tara has been told that she is facing disciplinary actions because she has behaved unethically. Identify whether or not each organization below may bring disciplinary actions against Tara for her unethical behavior. AAT, yes, all the professional bodies that they have right to do so, and it's in line with their disciplinary procedures as well. That if a member behaves unethically, that they can actually take disciplinary actions. National Crime Agency, now in this situation, it's nothing to do with the criminal activity. So nothing to do with the money laundering or anything like that. So therefore, that may not bring disciplinary action as is not a crime. That if she is delaying her work, so of course that is unethical, and ethical principles are applicable in there, but nothing to do with the law, nothing to do with the criminal activity. It's not criminal activity. Lelham Limited, of course, the companies can take disciplinary actions if an employee is not doing their job properly or delaying their task, and then it can cost to the company. Employment regulations require employers to pay employees at least at the national minimum wage. Lelham Limited makes high level of profits. The chief executive insists that managers should be paid at a very high rate with regular bonuses, but workers should receive only the national minimum wage with no entitlement to the bonuses. Identify whether the following statements are true or false. So let's have a look. The first one, the chief executive policy on employees' pay raises doubts about the ethical nature of the leadership and culture of Lelham Limited. That's true, isn't it? Because when the company is making high level of profits and the people actually who are making these profits, obviously under the leadership and culture and all of that, and if they're not rewarded, of course there is something wrong with the nature of the leadership and the culture of the organization. And only the high level management or just the management is rewarded with that. It's not in the best interest of the company as well itself. Okay, so next one, because Lelham Limited complies with the national minimum wage regulation, it is automatically considered to be behaving ethically in relation to its employees. That's not true, because ethics is not only just complying with the laws. Ethics is all about going above and beyond in terms of behaving ethically and behaving in the interest of all of the stakeholders as well, including the profession itself, as well as the company. And remember the sustainability side of things as well, which is people and planet, in addition to making profits. Okay, next part of this question, which is Ian is an accountant who has just started working for Lelham Limited, reporting to Hattie, who is also an accountant. Ian has discovered a material error in Lelham Limited's last corporation tax return. Identify the action Ian must now take. Resigning over that is quite aggressive approach, of course. So why Ian should resign? I mean, just because of that. Anyway, so that's not an appropriate action. Advise HMRC of the error without disclosing any information to Hattie or Lelham Limited. Now, if Ian will do that, Ian potentially will be violating the confidentiality ethical principle himself. So therefore, that's not appropriate either. Okay. Tell Hattie about the error and recommend that Lelham Limited disclose the error to HMRC. Of course, that's the appropriate action to do so. Okay, the final part of this question is Hattie realizes that she has inadvertently become involved in Lelham Limited money laundering operation. Complete the following sentence statement. Hattie may have defense against the money laundering charge if she makes. This is about the disclosures, and an authorized disclosure is a disclosure that which is made by an individual if they become, if they are basically voluntarily disclosing it to the National Crime Agency, of course, in the form of suspicious activity report. So this will be considered as an authorized disclosure. And or an authorized disclosure is also in relation to if an accountant wishes to provide services to a client that in connection with the property that which is known for criminal activity. So those are the two situations wherein authorized disclosure is being made. Okay, so if she makes an authorized disclosure, then she may have some defense against money laundering charge. All authorized disclosures are protected disclosures as well, okay, which means that you won't be violating the confidentiality agreement, confidentiality ethical principle as well. Okay. Thank you for listening. I will be back with other videos. Bye for now.